Yo, what up, boys? Morning, it's your boy FPL Josh, and welcome to the stream. We should have everything working now, in order. Yes, perfect. Yeah, so we're gonna be getting on with the stream today, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, no, we're just gonna go on about the current situation with the team, what we're looking like, and yeah, pretty much just dive right into it, I suppose. So, for the moment in time, I have made one transfer. If we pull up the team, my transfer has been Kepa to Raya. The reason I have made this transfer is generally just because I feel Raya gets a clean sheet versus Fulham, and Kepa don't get a clean sheet versus Chelsea, as well as Raya's got the double game week in 27, and I would love to own enough Brentford players that are good for that double. Obviously, getting Tony in is hard, so most likely my next week transfers will be to get Rico Henry in for Shaw and Morpie to Bumo at a -4. Just as that is the best move I can foresee. I would love to have Tony, but it is pretty much out of reach. Unless I decide to go Salah to Matoma and Morpie to Tony. But Salah's got Bournemouth, so I don't really want to do that. So the only other option really is pretty much taking Odegaard out from Matoma and Morpie into Tony would be the only other option. That requires a -4 as well, so that's probably something I will not be doing next week. I was debating doing Shaw down to Rico Henry this week for a -4, but I just don't see it as a great move. The reason I'm playing Shaw over Trippier is generally because Shaw will start by the looks of the news. Trippier will not keep a clean sheet versus City, and Shaw's assist potential is higher than Trippier's right now. And I do feel there's a possible chance we could keep a clean sheet. Obviously, I've got Salah, so he could do something, but I do feel Shaw gets a lot of assists, a lot of bonus points, so I do not feel like it's a bad pick playing Shaw. It could go to Trippier, depending on the news we get, but at the moment in time, I am sat on Shaw. We did take a -8 last week. Mitra to Morpie. I haven't lost any points because Mitra got 0, Morpie got 4, and Patterson to Tarkowski for a 4, which was the only hit that screwed up a lot of people because that hit ended up on 0. But it's one of those, we took a hit, it didn't pay off. It's one of those calls, you make it, it's a 50-50 call, and you just live by your call, I suppose. It's one of those, you can't do much about it. The captaincy will be on Saka. I know a lot of people will captain Haaland, but I feel Saka is the best option here. Rashford's good pick. I do feel Rashford could be a good pick. I'm debating the Rashford captaincy. Obviously, it's up there, but it's a really iffy decision to whether or not he is going to be captain. But yeah, no. At the moment in time, I've got my captaincy on Saka. Just for the moment in time. My vice captain will probably go to Kane. But at the moment it's on Rashford. You should vice captain Haaland really, but I feel Rashford's a good pick this week, so I don't think it's something I'm going to overlook. So yeah, it is something I'm not going to be overlooking one bit. The captaincy option looks well though. We're just waiting to see how good that captaincy option is going to be. Yeah, no, a lot of people are wildcarding this week, by the way. I will not be wildcarding this week. I think just with the international break, wildcard in game week 29 just seems the best option. And bench boosting 34. Because, you know, I could wildcard 28, bench boost 29. But then the problem I've got there is I'm not going to have a longer term team the way I want it to be. When I can set up that bench for game week 34 with enough doubles on the bench to bench boost that week. I still have all the players in my team playing, so as long as 34, I've got at least 8 players in the team doubling and 3 on the bench, and then Haaland and your Saka and whatnot, then I'll be happy with that team. And I'd have enough transfers anyway the weeks after to make that happen, so I do feel it is a good move, but I could bench boost 29 and set it up to have essentially a lot of doubles, and then just fix the team up with everything else. Obviously Brighton blank 28, but as long as I've got enough doubles going into that 29 fixture with at least 11, then I'll be quite happy to just take it on the chin game week 28 and have 9 players playing. If I was to wildcard 28, I'd happily take it on the chin, just so the week after I can use my bench boost. It is a tough one. I do feel Salah versus Bournemouth next week, and Haaland's got Crystal Palace. I might lean towards a Salah captain versus Bournemouth and take the risk, or I might captain Rashford versus Southampton, which is 27, but it's decided not to show his fixtures for some reason. I don't want you as my captain. And I don't know why it's just done that. Why the hell? It is the FPL site playing up. Hold up, boys. Let me just have a look quickly what's going on. It seems the FPL site is really playing up. So we're going to reload it. Just see what happens. Okay, I've got to log back in. Right, let me just quickly take off the... Let me just... We're going to have to... Give me a sec, boys. Can you hear me better now? I think it's fine. Has my voice decided to go off? I think it's working now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear me now. That's fine. Right, Fabio, can you hear me now? And just tell me quickly if that's buzzing. Is it buzzing or not? Because the problem I've got right now is not my fault. OBS is being really glitchy lately, so a lot of the audio with this new update on OBS is pretty much going to pot, so sometimes you might have that cut out. A lot of people are struggling with it right now, which is why I will be switching to Streamlabs for next week. Because the OBS audio and the OBS generally right now is a pain in the arse. But anyway, yeah, get to what I was about to say. Who have you captained this week? That's fine then. Yeah, I apologise about my throat today, boys. My lungs are not feeling too good today. Who have you captained this week, Fabio? Because I'm still on the debate. I'm not saying that mine's nailed in yet. I am still debating whether Rashford is a good pick or Kane's a good pick. Obviously, Haaland's the grain, but I just don't think Haaland's the best captain this week. I feel Saka's the best captain. Yeah, you gone Saka too. I did say Shaw's on for now, because I feel Shaw's got better assist potential than Trippier, and Trippier I can't see keeping a clean sheet. Shaw's less owned as well, so Shaw will equal more points when he bags. But if he doesn't start, or doesn't look like he's going to start, I probably will switch to Rico Lewis if Rico starts, because I can't see Newcastle scoring versus City, so I think Rico Lewis is a good starter for me, considering he'll probably come off at 60-something minutes and get a clean sheet, so I do think I might start Rico Lewis, depending on what happens, but the Man U game versus Liverpool is always a really high scoring game, so I could see that game going 3-3 or 3-2 and Shaw getting an assist, and I could see Rashford getting a couple of goals in that game pretty easily. But I just think Saka versus Bournemouth, Arsenal should beat Bournemouth like 6-0, 6-5-0. Saka get 2 goals and an assist, for example. I can't see it not going that way. I'll show you how annoyed I was with myself last week, because I was 700k rank and I dropped pretty massively down to like the 790, and I was top for like 3 weeks straight, and then just because I took a -8 last week and I bought in Tarkowski for Patterson, and Patterson got obviously didn't get any, but Tarkowski blanked with 0 because the -1, so I lost 4 just straight, and then I did Mitchell to Morpie for a -4, which Morpie nearly scored, but Mitchell got 0, Morpie got 4, so I didn't lose any points on that. But the fact that these have got like 110 because he's took a -8 and he's got Trent and Alisson, and Captain Salah the same as me. And then this one's obviously wildcarded, which, fair enough, it was a really good wildcard to be fair. 128 points on the wildcard, but I think I was really annoyed because I worked out the points. Saka's got 36 in the last like 3 weeks with the double, and so has Martinelli. So with the 2 doubles I'm on about, so Saka's had like 36 and Martinelli's had 36 the same. And I took a -4 from Martinelli to Saka, so the -4 was worth it. It was just really, really annoying when you see Martinelli get a 26 pointer on the week you could have captained him. So it's a bit of an annoying thing to see someone get a 26 pointer like that. It did piss me off a little bit. But Odegaard still returned, which was nice. It was about time he returned, to be honest with you. Because he like pretty much blanked out, returned. Got 3 and then returned, so it was quite nice to see him return after sucking up with 2 blanks of him. But yeah, no. I bought in Raya for Kepa this week, by the way, boys, if you want to know what transfer I've done. The reason behind my madness is Chelsea is missing James, and their defence is shaky at the moment, so I can't see him keeping a clean sheet. And just with his general save points and how many saves he makes, I just can't see him not. When you look at here, look, he's had saves. He's consistently getting save points. There's 3, 6, 5, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 3, 7, 5, 7. All the save points. So he will get good save points. I see him getting a clean sheet versus Fulham. I see him getting a clean sheet versus Everton and Southampton in the double and save points. So it could be like a 20-point week for Raya. And I do feel I want, obviously, Tony, I said this, but I am going to be taking a -4 and do, obviously, probably Shaw to Mbumo. Not Mbumo, sorry, Rico Henry. And Morpie to Mbumo for a -4 for both of them, as Shaw blanks 28. So getting Shaw out for 28 is nice. Having Brentford players who don't blank 28 is nice. And I think Brentford's got a pretty decent 28 fixture. Leicester, so yeah, I fancy them to keep a clean sheet versus Leicester, so I don't mind having 2 defenders from Brentford that week. Odegaard's not the most consistent, yeah, but the problem is, when Odegaard has a good week, and I think for Bournemouth, this is the kind of week where Odegaard can literally just pull a 16-pointer out of nowhere. So I do feel he's still better than Martinelli. I know people will start jumping the bandwagon and knee-jerking because of Martinelli, but I just feel I wouldn't rely on Martinelli's minutes. When Jesus is back, Martinelli's going to have trouble with Trossard again. He's going to be benched. He's going to be a minute's risk. He's not as consistent as Saka, so I don't feel, and I do feel Odegaard's better than him, because Odegaard always gets in better positions. So I just don't feel Martinelli's the better pick at all. I know he's had better points, but you can't just base it off one double game week where Martinelli's had better points when Trossard for me has been playing better. I base it not really off the points, I base it off what I see, but when you look at this, he's on 142 anyway, and Martinelli's like 109. So Odegaard's been performing better. What's your team looking like, Fabio? Should we have a look? Should we have a look what your team's looking like, and you can tell me what transfers you've made? Oh, the reason Slay's not in here today is because he's in a bit of a mood with me for no reason, because I don't know, bloody know. What did he get last week? What did you get last week, Slay? 66. Not Slay, sorry, yeah, Fabio. Yeah, it's... You took a -8, so who did you bring in on your -8? I'm assuming you brought in Gakpo. And I'm going to take the guess to say you brought in Matoma on the bench. Oh wait, no, you already had Matoma, so who else did you brought in? Probably Tarkowski, and Patterson's obviously not played, so... you might be worth, to be honest with you, Slay. Next week, for you, I would wildcard next week. I think your team's fine for this week, but you could wildcard this week and have a great team next week. Because I think if you've still got your free hit, Slay, have you still got your free hit? Nothing I'd see a week where I got 85 and got a flipping 700k. Jesus. Can't believe I got a flipping red arrow on 85 points. Man, nowhere near as consistent as we was last year. But we're doing okay. I fancy Ben White, to get an assist versus Bournemouth, boys. Nope. No, you ain't got no free hit. But yeah, I ain't got mine either, to be honest. But I think mine didn't pay off, to be fairness. This is the one season where my free hit has not paid off with 80 plus points. I think I had 60 or 50 something points on it, so it wasn't a great free hit, but it was one of those weeks where everyone else was getting 30, so it still paid off with a green arrow. Pretty much like the balance, everyone's on 90 points, 85 points, and someone's got 110 from the free hit, so it all balances itself out. It just would have been nicer to have it later on. Triple captain didn't pay off really much this year either, because I captained Haaland on 8 points, so yeah. We're just waiting to see when we're going to wildcard, to be honest with you, and the bench boost. I am probably going to wildcard 28 and bench boost 29, or wildcard 27 and bench boost 29. But we'll see. Obviously, my brother, who's 1 point ahead of me, still has his triple cap wildcard bench boost, where I only have wildcard and bench boost, so it is a case of hoping that triple captain doesn't really make a massive difference. But yeah, no. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out, to be honest. We're just waiting on the Shaw news and the Martial news. But as far as I'm aware, boys, Shaw and Fred are starting this week. Are you still here, Fabio? Oh, what happened to Slay? Oh, Slay got in an argument with me over something. I'm not going to go into text on the stream. I can message you on Discord about it, but he was being, what's the word? A narcissist, I suppose. I just exited the conversation, to be honest with you. I didn't take much notice, to be honest. If he wants to come in and apologise at some point, then that's fine, but I don't need people who are going to be toxic in that in my stream. Yeah, there is going to be a delay. Oh, Kane captain's tempting, you know. Or are Spurs playing today, boys? Is Spurs playing today? Or are they playing tomorrow? They're playing today. 5 o'clock kickoff. I'll tell you what, Slay. I'll put my Instagram. I'll put my Twitter in the chat. What's my Twitter? Hold on, let me pull my Twitter up. I'll put my Twitter in the chat, and then I'll give you my Discord on there. Because I can't remember what the Discord is, to be honest. Hold on. And it's... Hold on, I'm doing it now. There you go. I think that's what it is. It was FIFA 23 thing. It was an old Twitter account. That's just a random one I made. So I don't like using my main one on here. Well, in fairness, then you're probably on the losing side because Man City are being not great right now. I was pretty annoyed when they conceded to Bournemouth last week. I was like, listen to this, right? I was like, do you know what? The one week Rico Lewis plays, oh yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal nice week. I'm going to get a clean sheet, I lost down 4 points, so it's not a massive deal. But the point is, he played the whole game, and they conceded on like the 90th minute. Yeah, it's the one for Twitter as far as I'm aware. It should work. And they conceded on like the 90th minute. So I was like, for frickin' hell, bro. He plays and he doesn't even get my clean sheet. Somerville nearly scored. He nearly scored. Kane should have scored again. White should have got an assist. And he should have had 3 bonus till Gabriel nicked it on the one game. Which is a bit annoying. I am 80 points behind in my Millie League with my friends. Is it worth the risk to remove Haaland and have Kane, Watkins and Tony as my 3 strikers? No, I would not remove Haaland. Who have you got in your front 3 right now? Have you got Kane, Watkins and Tony? If you have got Kane, Watkins and Tony, then not Kane, Watkins and Tony, sorry, Haaland, Watkins and Tony, then personally I would not get rid of Haaland. 1, you're going to lose 0.3 money value. 2, it's not something I would be doing. I think if you were saying Watkins to Kane, then I would say, yeah, do it. But I would never get rid of Haaland to Kane, because it's too risky. The only week I would consider going Haaland to Kane for 1 week punt is the week City blank, which as far as I'm aware is game week. That is the only week I would consider doing that. Is because Kane's got Forest as well. Not Forest, sorry. Who is it? He's got Southampton. So that is the only week I'd consider doing it. But it is a big risk. I myself will personally be getting Tony in at some point. And Salah will be going out to Bruno Fernandes after game week 28. Because Bruno 29 is ridiculously good. Especially with the Man United double. For our double, Newcastle and Brentford, I fancy that for Bruno and Rashford. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing that. If you're honestly, think of it in my terms, right? I'm 1 point behind the top right now. I was, even Fabio can tell you, I was trailing by 85 points for the first 20 weeks. And then I've caught up. 80 points is not ridiculously hard to catch up, depending on what chips you've got left. If you can tell me what chips you've got left, like your triple capture, bench boost, your wild card and whatnot, and then I can give you tips on how I would play those to maximise your points to catch yourself up in the best way. I can give you tips on how to do that, depending on what your team's like and depending on who you've got. Because I have been in the situations where I've been 80, 85, 90 points behind myself, and I've caught up with these. Just by playing things smart. But yeah, no, it's an interesting differential, but I wouldn't do it. Fabio, put your Discord in the chat and I'll add you later. I'll screenshot it and add you later. Yeah, I'll add you later, Fabio. I'll add you on Discord in a bit. In fact, I'll add you on it now. Just give me a sec. If it seems like my breathing's off today, it's generally because I've done a freaking 3-hour boxing gym workout this morning, so my chest is pretty much killing me. Right. I'll do it now, Fabio. Give me a sec. Let me... I can still see your chat, boys, by the way, so keep coming in with the chats. Right, there you go. I've sent you it, Fabio. It's Pokemon Raid something. It's a random account I put in, to be honest with you. It's like Pokemon Raid something. It's a random account to put in, so just add that up. Man. Yeah, no, I do still fancy Kane. I need to see. I'm going to scroll through Insta, so I won't see the chat for a minute. Just going to quickly check if we have got any team news. Or I'm going to look through Twitter quickly on Rico Lewis news, as Rico Lewis might start. Well, let's just quickly have a look. Rico Lewis. It's kind of underperforming, not going to lie. Hold Trippier there, whatever you do. Yeah, Lewis looks like he's going to get a contract, meaning Rico Lewis has got a great chance of starting today. I do think I will wait till like 10:40 something, but I think what we'll do is we'll put Shaw here to come on. If not, obviously Trippier will come on. And there we go. And that's probably what we'll do. Because I don't think Rico Lewis is a bad punt, you know. Because the way I see it, when you look at him, he's 1.7% owned. If he gets a clean sheet, it's quite big. Could be a short play though. We'll see. difference is if Shaw don't play, Rico Lewis comes on. If Rico Lewis don't play, Shaw comes on. So it doesn't really matter which one I go for, to be honest. I don't want Trippier this week in the starting lineup. I refuse to put him in the starting lineup. He'll probably go and score a goal since I've said I refuse to put him in the starting lineup, but I couldn't give two. He's not going in it. I am not putting him in that lineup. But yeah, no, I ain't. There you go, Fabio. I've messaged you. There. But no, yeah, I do think Rico Lewis is a good upcoming academy player, and I think with City offering contracts, obviously he probably won't start this week for me unless I get news saying he is starting. But for now, he can sit there until the deadline. Because I'm quite happy leaving him there for a moment in time. But we will see. We will see. Rashford will perform versus what's Haaland's ownership? No. I bet you Rashford's like the second highest owned, or is it Kane? No, Rashford's got to be up there. I bet you Rashford is the second highest owned player in the game right now. He's got to be, yeah, he has to be. Oh, hello, Slay. I'm surprised you're in here after you had a go at me the other day, but okay. What's the plan for this week? We're forgive and forget, it's fine. What's the plan for this week? I did Kepa to Raya. I'm captaining Saka. That's all I'm doing this week. I haven't made any more transfers, and Rico Lewis is probably going to play over Shaw, but I'm debating that still. And I would not be starting Trippier this week. But yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Fabio took a -12. You didn't even tell me you took a -12, Fabio. Why the hell have you took a -12? It's not even a double week. This is the problem. Fabio murders himself and murders his ranking points by keep taking -12s and -8s every week. Oh my life. What's your transfers been, Slay? I had an interesting week, man. I took a -8, and Tarkowski got 0, and Morpie got 4, but Mitrovic got 0, but Tarkowski pretty much just was a -4 without any points gained. So it was a bit of a risky one. But yeah, no, I've just added Fabio on Discord as well. Mate, so Fabio never tells anyone he's taking a -12 or a -8. He just does it and then comes in and surprises everyone. It's ridiculous. Why have you bought Fernandes in, considering he's blanking game week 28? Why wouldn't you have just... Did you already have Fernandes? Or have you took a minus... Because I would not have bought Fernandes in, personally, this week. As much as I love Bruno Fernandes, I would not have... Yeah, I would not have done De Bruyne to Bruno Fernandes, because I know for a full fact that's what you've done. I would not have done KDB to Bruno Fernandes. Use my free hit, so shall I use wildcard this game week or next week? It solely depends on what your team is looking like, Jay. If you could drop your team list in the chat and your captain and so forth, and what transfers and hits you've made this week, then I can look at it in that context and just give you an idea with whether I think you should wildcard or not. You're in the same situation as I am. I haven't got my free hit either. So we have got to play it quite well. If you've got your bench boost, I could give you the idea of what I'm doing, but it really depends on how your team is set up. For me, I will be wildcarding most likely game week 28 or 27 and bench boosting 29. Or I'll wildcard 29 and bench boost 34. But, yeah. But yeah, no, if you drop your team below, Jay, and I'll answer that question with happiness. You're using wildcard next week, Slay. Nice. I'm debating wildcard next week. There's a possibility, but probably won't. It's my team's looking good enough, and I think Salah versus Bournemouth I'd like. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get Tony for that game week 27 fixture, which is really annoying. That is the only thing that would annoy me, is not having Tony for that week, but it's manageable. So I do feel if I can manage 27, then I will. I'll prolong the wildcard as much as possible until I need to use it. Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to do, Slade. Just considering game week 29, I can bench boost. I would love to have Matoma though next week, so, and Tony, and March and De Stupinan and, you know, all those good players. So I do think it's an option to bench boost Game Week 27. I don't disagree with bench boosting Game Week 27. Not bench boost 27, sorry, wildcard 27. I am definitely bench boosting 29. To bench boost 29 has been my plan since Game Week 4. I always bench boost 29 near enough every single season I've played because it's always the biggest double of the season. Occasionally 34 is bigger, but normally 29 is what I bench boost every season. I normally have my free hits as well, but I have used it early this season, which is the first time I've ever used it within the Game Week 16. Who I start, Ward or Kepa? I'd probably start Ward, to be honest, because I don't think Kepa will keep a clean sheet versus Leeds, which is why I've done Kepa to Raya. I know Ward's iffy, but Leicester's got Southampton. I think I'd give Leicester that respect that they could keep a clean sheet versus Southampton. I think it's iffy whether Ward... Yeah, because I think Kepa's good for save points and Ward's really good for save points. So both of them could probably concede. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed clean sheet. It's just more likely for Ward to get a clean sheet than Kepa, but that's my opinion. You do what you wish, but I do think Leeds have got the audacity to score versus Chelsea, and with Chelsea missing James now as well, and with Thiago Silva out, I think the defence is too weak to be able to stop Leeds from scoring. So I think Ward's the best pick this week. Same for you as well, Fabio. Ward is the best pick this week. That's my current thoughts on that. I'm hoping Slay knows all season I've had these little kinks, and so do you, Fabio, where Raya's got like 10 points and he's been on my bench. So I'm hoping he starts returning those big 10, 12 points again. Because those 10-point weeks where he gets like 7 saves and a clean sheet and 3 bonus are really great weeks. But yeah, no, I'd probably start Ward. If I didn't have Raya, if I didn't do Kepa to Raya, I would have started Ward as well. But I thought it was the best transfer considering Raya's doubling next week. Hence why I probably won't wildcard next week. And I'll just do Morpie to Mbeumo. Well, I feel Morpie scores this week, which is why I was quite happy with my -4 from Mitrovic to Morpie last week. And I don't think Mitrovic will score versus Raya, to be honest. And Brentford, so. And Mbeumo's quite good form. Tony could get a ban. So I do feel Mbeumo's a better pick, and it's a cheaper pick, and it's more of a differential. So that was probably the pick I will go for. Tony's a good pick, though. This week, Ward, me, Trippier, Gabriel, Saka, Salah, Rashford, Haaland, Iheanacho, Felix. I like Iheanacho. Iheanacho's a good pick. Iheanacho is someone I will be bringing in Game Week 28, because I feel Iheanacho is a great pick. Same with Tony, and same with Haaland. Kane will probably be going out 28, and I'll probably bring back... actually, no, I'll have Kane 28. Haaland will be out, and I'll bring Haaland back in the week after on the transfer. Or I'll take a hit for it. But either way, Haaland will go out 1 week for Kane, and I'll lose the money, and I'll have to bring him back in. Just so I can make those amazing moves. But I'll bring him back in for Kane, so really I'm losing out on like 3-point money. But I think it's worth losing the 3-point bank just to be able to make that really big move for that 1 week. Which probably earned me a load more points than I would have had. Considering Kane doubles 29, as far as I'm aware. Does he? No, he doesn't double 29. But he doesn't blank 28, so... That's right, I was going to not have Haaland 28 and have Kane and bring Haaland back in 29. Because I wanted Haaland back in for the 29 fixture. But we'll see. I'm still debating a lot. I will be getting Watkins in 28 on my wildcard. That's already planned through that. And same with Tony. Tony will be on my wildcard. Saka will be on my wildcard if he's benched. Yeah, that's not a bad move, to be honest. I don't disagree with wildcard in 27. I might lean towards that myself, to be honest, but I'm still debating it. Obviously, bench boost 29 is good. The only problem I've got is we have got the international break. Well, is it the international break? Yeah, I think it's the break. Yeah, I think it's the international break after 28 till a couple weeks. So the 29, hopefully, when no one gets any injuries, will be nice. Because if people start getting injured, then that kind of clocks up a lot of things, and people start taking hits, and it gets a bit messy. We're just waiting on some news right now. Did I show you oh, I haven't showed you, have I, Slay? Wait till you see some of the scores in my league this week, bro. Honestly, 128, 100, 110. There's been some massive scores. This wild card, fair play. Great move. Phenomenal move this wild card was. I think this is probably the best wild card that I've probably seen apart from the best one, because generally it was a great wild card. If he would have had, let's say, who was it? What's his face? Not Cody. God, who am I thinking of now? Not Gakpo and had Salah, because he could have afforded it with everything. And not had Tony on the bench, but he's got Tony, Van Heck, and Jensen, so I do feel he's covered the other blanks as well, which is quite a good wild card for me. I worked it out. I took a -4, right, from Saka, but I did Saka to Martinelli to Saka in game week 23 double. He got 15 points. He paid off Martinelli, and then the last from all those weeks, 23, 24, 25. If you look at it, right, 31, 37. Martinelli's earned 36. So the -4, essentially, Martinelli's probably earned like 3 more points than Saka, but I still agree with Saka long term. Martinelli did go crazy though. My game week was going great until Martinelli popped off. That's literally the only reason that someone who was 30 points behind me off the top has caught up and got above me by 1 point. Is generally just because of the one he did a -8, brought in Alisson, Arnold, and Salah, and then Martinelli popped off. But he's gone. He might not play. He's out. You're not going to want to play Bailey. You have to play Rashford. Mahrez might not play. Mitrovic is still doubt-ish. These ain't going to keep a clean sheet. So I do feel I am definitely getting above the league again, pretty much guaranteed. Why is? I swear I confirmed that. I was about to say I swear I confirmed that. Yeah, I got a red arrow because of him. Where? What a week you had. I had 85 points, mate, and pretty much I dropped down in rank from 700k to 790, and I took a -8 from Mitrovic to Morpie, which got 4, so I took no points there because Mitro blanked, and Patterson to Tarkowski got 0, so I lost out on 4 points. So in reality, I got 81 points, but I already got my 4 back, so technically I got 77. But how are you anyway, Mats? How's your day going, bro? Yeah, see you later. See you later, Fabio. But I'm Captain Saka this week. I think a lot of people, near enough everyone, were Captain Saka over Haaland this week, so rank shouldn't be too effective, to be honest, even if Saka was to blank. I can't see that happening, though. I see at least 2 goals and an assist versus Bournemouth. Minimum 2 goals, I reckon. I reckon he'll have a great game. Yeah, I did Mitrovic to Morpie for a -4 last week, obviously. Mitro 0, got 0, Morpie got 4, so I got all my points back, which is what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a return, but then I just thought with the Nottingham Forest fixture coming up, and with how Nottingham Forest can have shaky defence, Morpie could come out and score a load of goals, and he looked in really good form. I know he didn't score, but he was having so many shots on target, so many shots, and looked great. So I do think he should have scored in the Arsenal game. He should have scored in the Arsenal game. He was unlucky not to score in the Arsenal game, because he was playing really well. And I think just with that ownership of 0.8, if he decides to bag versus Forest a couple goals, which I could see him doing, because Forest conceded 4 goals to West Ham within 15 minutes, from the 70th minute to the 85, so I think he could break that, come out really strong again and score a couple goals. Yeah, but Slade, you've got to think, right, Forest, he's going to get a couple goals. He's missing chances, yeah, but so is Nketiah, so is all the other strikers. I know he's missed a couple chances, but he's going to put one of them away in the next game at least, so I do feel like he will return, my faith in him, so I'm quite happy with that pick, to be honest with you. And then he will go to Mbumo probably the week after, if I don't wildcard. But if I do wildcard, Tony's coming in, obviously. And I'll probably bring Watkins in as well. But that'll probably be 29, Watkins will come in. So 28, Watkins will come in. Haaland will go out. Yeah, and then 29, Haaland comes back in. And Bruno comes in for Salah. For a -4, probably, is what I'll do if I do wildcard. But I just think I have to make those kind of decisions for me right now where I go against the grain a bit. Because I do want to make sure with how everyone's team's near enough the same. Yeah, I've looked at Maddison. I fancy Maddison, but I think Iheanacho is a better pick. I think I'd rather have Iheanacho But then the problem is, you'd want Tony and Watkins because they're both double, and you'd still want to keep Haaland or Kane. But obviously, I wish the game let you have 4 strikers, to be honest with you, but it doesn't, which would be lovely. But so I probably will have to have Maddison, Tony, Watkins, Haaland bench for obviously Maddison. I'll probably even consider bringing Martinelli back in maybe. I do fancy Trossard though. Trossard's getting in good positions, but I prefer Odegaard and Saka. I still think they're the best pick, to be honest with you. Martinelli will start getting benched anyway when Jesus comes back. Obviously, he will probably play on the wing this week. Yeah, I'm considering not having Haaland 28. I'm considering not having Haaland 28. Generally just because I think I can bring him back in 29 straight away. Which is a great pick. 34, Haaland and De Bruyne are necessary because they're both probably most likely going to double. The way I see it is, right, Brighton double 27, blank 28. But then I'm quite sure they double 29 and they'll guarantee to double in 34. So long term, 3 Brighton picks seem a really good idea. But it's just trying to be capable of benching them and work around the blanks. So game week 28, I'm probably going to only have 9 players playing. But I'll suck up the 9 players playing and take it on the chin. Because I know my game week 29 then, I've got a great bench boost, loads of great picks. And I'm going to get at least 120, 130 points. So statistically, I don't mind taking the 9 players into a game week 28. Or 8 players in. When everyone's going to be taking hits and everyone's going to have less players anyway. So I don't consider that really a bad idea for me. We've got 29 minutes till deadline, boys. 29 minutes. 29 minutes till deadline. Yeah, no. It is interesting though. Oh, good. No. Let's go have breakfast. I missed you in, so yeah. That's sound that we're good now. Sound. Have a good one, Slay. I'll probably stay on here for the next 28 minutes, so anyone who's just joined or anyone in here, you can start asking some questions away, and we'll see what the team news is looking like. Yeah, but just DM me up, and I'll DM you just before the deadline on team news. If you come in about 10:50, Slay, we should have Man City and Man United team news. But I'd probably come in 10:45ish, just so you can get everything sorted. But yeah, no. All good. We're just going with the flow. Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting right now. It's been a pretty interesting week last week, and hopefully this week's interesting as well. Right, we're gonna wait for team news myself, boys, but I do think we are gonna wrap that up there though. So I hope everyone has a good rest of your days. Make sure you check out Team News and Ticks on Instagram to get your team news at Team News and Ticks, and FPL Leaks on Twitter. So yeah, boys, I hope everyone has